What up, everyone? Before you watch the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to stay tuned for everything that's coming next this week and the weeks to come. I'm posting 3 times a week, and I like to keep it that way. So it seems like there's a lot of benching footage in this video, and that makes sense because Saturday was my beltless squat day, and I put that on my Instagram. And it's not all of my footage, but it's pretty much every single thing I did. One clip of each, and I just didn't bring my camera, so I had my phone recording. I just wanted it to be perfect. It has to be perfect. It has to be all my camera stuff, and I forgot my SD card. One time I forgot my battery, and now this time, my first day I forgot my battery, now this time I forgot my SD card. So that's why it's all bench. It's my 3rd and 4th day of benching. You see some pin presses, not so heavy. I think that was the 215. Yeah, it was supposed to be a 4x4. That's why you see a 5x4x4x3. Yeah, it's a 5x4x4x3 because I forgot. I thought it was a 3x5. That's why I started with the 5. It's supposed to be a 4x4. Either way, it was pretty easy. It's just 215, and the 4 plus is 207, and that's a 4x5. I was going to say 3x5, but it's a 4x5, and all the accessories. And I can't stress enough when you're doing any kind of benching stuff, like whether it's an incline. Well, incline, yeah, let's just say I don't really even care about incline. Yeah, I do them with the bench block, but I might just cut that out because I stopped doing incline for years. And the reason I stopped is because I just don't see how that transfers to bench. It's a whole different movement. Your arms are longer. My arms are super long. It hurts my shoulders a lot. And I have to put it on a lower setting, which I think is a way better setting than a 45-degree angle. I prefer like 30-ish, 25 to 30-ish. That helps my shoulders, but even then it still hurts. That's why I put the bench block. And I don't care. It's not a comp lift. I don't go all the way down. I do with the bench block, but I don't go all the way down to my chest, and I don't care to. Just like I don't care to with standing shoulder press. But it's funny because when I do dumbbells on incline bench and shoulder press, I always go all the way down. That's crazy. And I do the neutral grip. I think that makes a big difference. But my shoulders are popping and cracking. I'm not going to go all the way down just for other people's satisfaction. I don't need to impress anyone. That's why I do what I do. But when you're doing any kind of benching things, I can't stress enough. If you can do pull-ups, like if you could do sets of 5, at least sets of 5, even if you could do sets of 3, whatever many, like you could do unassisted pull-ups, really work that in. That's better than lat pull downs. People swear by lat pull downs. And going to commercial gym, like for 10 years, because I've been going to powerlifting gym almost 2 years now. So I just say 10-ish years. Lat pull downs like the main thing you see. Yeah, you see people doing pull-ups, but people are under this conception, there's so many fitness articles, blogs that say if you can't do a pull-up, do lat pull downs. It's the same exact movement, just you're not using your legs at all, and you do pull-ups, you have to carry your entire body. And that is true, but I don't think you should live and die by the lat pull down. After 10 and a half years of using it, I barely use it now. Ever since I've been going to this gym, I don't use it that much. I would say, let's just say 11 years, because I have used it at this gym, but now, all 2020, I haven't really been using it, even, towards the end of 2019. I think there's better movements than the lat pull down, because it's very assisted, and, your knees are locked in, where you can do something else like a row, or you're going to see in this video, bent over landmine rows with the seated cable row attachment. I love that one with some 25s for more range of motion. Doesn't hit your chest right away because the 45-pound plate is so big, and the floor either. But the floor is not what it is. People put 25s so it doesn't hit the floor. That's not why we do it. So it doesn't hit our chest right away, because the 45 will hit your chest fast. And I've never trusted 45 to the floor. It's more about the 25 not hitting your chest right away because it's smaller, and you just put more 25s. The most you can put is 8 is what I've usually seen, but I only do 3 here. But, stuff like that. Pull-ups, inverted rows is what I wanted to say. Inverted rows, I think you should live and die by that with bench. You should superset it with your warm-ups like I do, or superset it with your working sets, or superset it with any kind of benching, like whether you see me doing chain push-ups, superset it with that, superset it with the floor presses. I like the floor presses because it's already there. It's right with the floor presses because you're on the floor, and it's the same exact level you want to put the inverted rows. If you're pretty advanced at it and you can go low like I can, I'm going to start elevating my feet this week and not just have my feet on the ground to make it harder, because you can always make it harder. Elevate your feet, elevate them higher, do it with TRX, and elevate your feet, do it with rings. The gym I go to doesn't have rings, but rings are probably the hardest in my opinion. There's a lot of ways you can make it harder. I wouldn't suggest putting weight on you, like chains or anything, because that's just gonna, I don't know, I just don't like the way that the position is for your posture and the arc in your back. It's like pushing you down when you want to go up. I don't think that should be used with weight inverted rows, but you could always put pull-ups with weight. If you think pull-ups are easy, or push-ups, and then you see me doing weighted push-ups and pull-ups in the video, you can go as heavy as a plate with pull-ups. Push-ups, it's a little bit harder because you put chains on your neck, and then, you know, I mean, it's fine, but it can kind of hurt. It could kind of get in the way. I mean, if you put plates, they could wobble around, plates on your back. So weighted push-ups is a little bit different. The only real way you could do weighted push-ups successfully with a lot of weight is elevate the whatever you're doing the push-up on and try to get it in neutral grip, because I like neutral grip. I just think it's way healthier. Like the pull-ups I do, it's neutral-ish. It's like that diagonal neutral, but like you see Steffi Cohen has done, Omar Isuf, like you elevate yourself and you get a belt like on your like upper back. Don't put it on your lower because it's that curve is there. You know, that natural thoracic spine, the kyphosis, lordosis, all that stuff. You know what there is. There's 3 natural curves in your spine, but it would be like higher on your back, put a belt, and do push-ups on something elevated for your feet and your hands. That's something I want to start doing too. But I'm kind of starting off with the weighted push-ups. I've done them before, but I'm not that pro with it. So I'm just going to add, there's 4 total chains at the gym I go to. So the heaviest I'll go is 4 chains and just add weights, sets and reps and all that. So here's that footage from Friday. I wasn't going to do a voiceover. I was just going to let this all play, but I don't want any copyright claims. That gets annoying after a while. So just to let this time pass by, what I would recommend for pin presses, I first did this. I programmed this like a year ago on my own program, but then it's been a while since I had done these. So it's been like about a year. Yeah, like exactly a year. And one thing I did back then, no, I didn't do back then, but when I did this the first time on this program like 2 weeks ago, is I just did normal bench press. And then when I was ready for my working set, I brought the pins up, down, whatever you want to call it, to my chest. And I just started doing the working sets, and don't do that. Like, I think I already said that, but I'm just saying it again for those who don't know, those who didn't see that last video. Don't warm up normal, like you're doing normal bench press with no pins, and then put the pins on when you're ready, because, like, it's a whole nother movement. Warm up with the pins. So, however you warm up normally, use the pins for the entire pin press working sets, warm-ups, and working sets, and then you can take them off, because I do floor presses after this, and floor presses are easier. So, I mean, I don't know, they're kind of both hard in their own way, but floor presses are about... I would say they're easier, just a whole nother movement. And when it comes to floor presses, you see me doing them, like, honestly, it may look like I'm not going all the way down. And I know that's the point of floor presses, to not go all the way down, because you can't, because your elbows hit the floor. But what I mean is, it may look like my elbows don't touch the floor, but they actually really are. I mean, maybe it's not that they are, but like the shoulder, my tricep, and the part of like my bottom shoulder, like that long head of the shoulder, is really just touching. And it's like, I used to, not this video, thank God, I used to go all the way down and make sure my elbow would touch completely on the floor and pause it. But honestly, don't do that, because if you're doing that, you're going forward, and then you're going to go way more up and back than you're supposed to. And honestly, that will do you more harm than good, because it actually hurts. And don't try to look cool and try to show off that you're doing it harder. Don't always try to make the exercise harder. If it's what it's supposed to be, then let it be what it's supposed to be. Forward press is supposed to be a forward press. Do the range of motion the way it is. Don't try to make it any deeper or harder, because you might as well just bench press or do a pin press in that situation. So don't be stupid. Just wherever your range of motion allows you to do, like, just do that. It's like, don't go crazy. Don't be dumb. Don't put way too much weight on it because it's easier. Like, this is still pretty damn light for being a floor press. I'm not going heavier than my bench sets, like my actual working comp bench sets or anything. I'm nowhere near it. It's slowly but surely, because it's still new. So now I'm moving on to the bench box. This was the 3 board for 254 for a 4x3x3. And I look back at it, I mean, it was pretty hard, and I actually feel it in my shoulders, but I shouldn't feel it in my shoulders because the bench box saves your shoulders. But I guess I wasn't using the greatest form on the first set, which was 4. I should have done all 3 sets with 4, which would have been a 4x3. No, 3, yeah, 4, wait. Yeah, 3x4. 3x4 would have been 12 reps. I wanted 10 because the next week I'm going to do the lowest setting, and that one's pretty damn hard because I feel like every single setting is a big difference than the last. I felt it every week. And that one I'm going to do a 3x3, and then, I was actually thinking 4x2 or 3x3, but I think I could do a 3x3 now that I look back at it. And the week after is going to be the even smaller bench box, 3x2, and then a 3x1, and then I should be repping 254. The goal is to do a 3-rep max on it, and if I do, that might be my opener, because last time my opener was 243, and it wasn't exactly as planned because I hit a wall. So this is my advice. This is just what I think. If your opener is a 3 rep, like what you could do for 3 reps on a bad day, like it should be, like mine was 243 and it was a bad day, and I used squat shoes and I had no arc because of squat shoes, and I have long legs, and that was my first time like using squat shoes. I don't think that always means you should be your opener, because if you know you've hit a wall in training, it doesn't make sense for that to be your opener, an easy 3 rep. An easy 3 rep opener, because what if the rest, like your second attempt is an RPE 9 in training, and on meet day it's an RPE 9? How do you expect to get that third attempt? It's just something to think of. If you know, like you've had some shoulder problems like me during prep, or just you didn't feel that confident, you shouldn't always have that 3 rep. What you could do for 3 reps of your 3 reps as your opener. Like I know, I honestly, I may sound crazy, but that's just what I think, because it happened to me, and it can happen to anyone. Especially because bench is the hardest lift. It's pretty damn technical. A lot of people don't use their back. A lot of people just drop it down to their chest, and on meet day, that's not that ideal. I mean, unless you follow the commands and do it, and they don't give you any red lights. I mean, I guess, but it's not ideal to go super fast and just drop it on you and not use any back at all, and then just rely on your chest, because meet day they're going to make you pause a little bit. So if it's a bad 3 reps that you're not confident about, make the opener a little lighter. That's all I'm saying. Don't have ego on your first attempt. Like, I mean, I don't think I did to this day, but I did hit a wall. So hopefully I can rep the 254, which is my max before my second attempt, my last meet. And then the slingshot, I used the Mad Dog. It's the strongest slingshot that Mark Bell has so far. And I mean, he has a new one. It's like camel green, but like that's the original slingshot, so that's not the strongest one. I have that one too, but I'm using the black one. I'm gonna start using the red one because it doesn't help as much. But what I do with that one, I use whatever weight I'm gonna do that next Tuesday. So it's 234.5 for a 3x5, and I'm gonna do a 3x4. Make it, it's not. I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. I don't think I do a 3x5 with 234.5. This is gonna be for sure PR with that weight. Any repping kind of PR, 234 I've never really repped at all. I have, but not for a 3x5 or 3x4. If I did, it was a 3x3 tops. I don't even remember, but it's going to be something pretty heavy. So 3x5 with 234.5, and that's what I'm going to do Tuesday, which is tomorrow. And, it's easy with the slingshot. It's never crazy ego weight when I do with the slingshot. And then, like I said, there's inverted rows always involved. I didn't record it on the Friday day, but yesterday I warmed up with it with my bench, and then I superset it with pull-ups 4x5, and then we got some landmine rows, and then some biceps, some biceps, triceps. And that's honestly Sundays are that's like the funnest days for me, because it's just like experimenting with bench, and it's a pretty easy day, but it's really heavy with the block, but it doesn't feel heavy.